Premiering on Netflix, the latest from Christopher Landon, the guy behind the Happy Death Day movies and Freaky. Now we have a ghost.
We have a ghost. This is not the sequel to We Bought a Zoo. I wish it were.
If only.
If only. Like, I want to go back and rewatch We Bought a Zoo more than I want to watch We Have a Ghost.
No, I'm serious, Kevin. Caught him on camera. Oh, we gotta show Mom. No.
So there's this family that moves into this house, which is clearly haunted. It's this big old Victorian. We see from an opening sequence that people are running, fleeing in terror. And then a year later, this family moves in, and Anthony Mackie is the dad, and Jahi Di'Allo Winston's one of the kids. And as he is exploring in the attic, which is giant, by the way.
Huge.
How big is this attic? Like, the ceilings are like double high ceilings. No attic is this big. But David Harbour shows up as a ghost and is trying to scare him away. As he's going, woo, like really obvious, like hokey, like Beetlejuice level haunting here. To his credit, Jahi Di'Allo Winston's character, rather than be freaked out by this ghost, he befriends him, wants to know what happened to him, how did he end up this way. The older brother, played by Niles Finch, takes it a step further, as does Anthony Mackie as the dad, and they want to capitalize on this, and they want to go viral with it. And that is maybe the only interesting nugget of an idea here, which eventually the film abandons. The idea that we are all so desperate for any kind of viral fame and immediate wealth that might come along with it, that, we will let people enjoy our ghost or whatever. That's kind of an interesting idea. But then it ends up being about so much more, and the effects look so crappy. And poor David Harbour is stuck just having to mug, and he's stuck with this terrible hair and this ugly bowling shirt, which we in time understand what that's about. His name is Ernest.
Yeah.
Tig Notaro goes to waste here as
my God. Yes.
the scientist. So if we're going to pick a Tig Notaro performance to enjoy between this and what's it called? It's not called Same Time Next Year. What's it called? The Reese Witherspoon and Ashton Kutcher
Your Place or
movie.
Mine.
Your Place or Mine. I am losing my mind, people. Nothing stays in this brain anymore. Anyway, so once again, like, I need a movie that understands all that Tig Notaro can do, because in these supporting roles, she gets to show a glimpse of it, but she's such a badass and such a multi-talent. She's like in a dramatic role here, actually. Anyway, this movie kind of falls apart eventually, and it's 2 hours long. Oh my God, it's 2 hours long. And I really dug the Happy Death Day movies. They were so clever and so fun. And they took a formula that we know, and they found a fresh new way into it. And this is just a cheesy haunted house movie.
Yeah, like Christopher Landon has kind of under the radar, without getting like a ton of PR about it, is one of our major horror guys right now. Like, he's one of the architects of the Paranormal Activity franchises. You know, Happy Death Day, beloved, even if they weren't like the second one, I don't think was a hit, but I mean, like, critics love it and audiences are big fans of it. Freaky, I think, had it not come out during the pandemic, probably would have, landed harder, which makes me think, is there something about the way Netflix makes movies where they just throw money at talented filmmakers and then don't develop the scripts enough? Like, I know studio notes get a bad rap and the idea of like interference from producers or blah blah blah, but you look at some of these Netflix movies like this and Your Place or Mine and Red Notice and that time travel one with Ryan Reynolds, and you're thinking, like, maybe somebody could have looked at this script and made a few notes and made like maybe another draft would have helped. This is such a mess. Like, it can't decide on a tone. No, because it kind of wants to be scary, but then it wants to be funny, and then it wants to be like this warm family drama. Yeah. But then it also wants to be this like CIA conspiracy thing. All of these things are clashing together. Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh, yes.
How do you make Jennifer Coolidge not funny? This movie figures out a way to do it. Tig Notaro, also not funny, but she doesn't have to be funny. She was great in Army of the Dead, or whichever that the zombie movie in Vegas where she played the helicopter pilot. She was great in that. She can do all kinds of things, but here she gets this role that is nothing. Anthony Mackie is too good for this. It was nice to see Erica Ash, who I remember from the Big Gay Sketch Show. Faith Ford has a great appearance early on as a realtor. Like, Chris Landon is, he's second generation showbiz, so he has a deep well of appreciation for character actors. But yeah, this just is such a mess, and it's too long, and it doesn't really ever come together. It doesn't land in any of the ways that it wants to. You never really super feel for, the family living in the house. You don't super get emotional about David Harbour's character and what happens to him and the sort of coda they put on that at the end. Like, it's a mess.
Yeah, the truth of what's happening with David Harbour's character feels very rushed and very underdeveloped and very sort of out of nowhere as like a, hey, we got to explain what happened to him.
Yeah, and then the big meaningful ending just feels tacked on and unearned.
As with all these films, yeah, you're right. It is too long. They all feel kind of unwieldy, and it's like, who is there to rein them in when it's quantity over quality? Like, whose job within this behemoth corporation is it to like fine tune and rein these things in? Because they all feel like scattered and kind of sloppy. Yeah,
this is one of those things I think where you don't miss it until it's gone. I think any other studio would have been like, we can you maybe look at this, maybe tighten up this part? Where do you want to go with this? And this is, again, I don't have any insider knowledge here. This is just based on the movies that Netflix makes. They all look like somebody got handed a lot of money and was like, go, and they went, and they maybe shouldn't have.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I watched it with Nick. I'm like, Nick, it's Anthony Mackie and it's David Harbour. He's like, oh, it's Falcon and it's Hopper. Why not? I'll go watch it with you. But even within like the first 15, 20 minutes or so, he's like, oh my God. Like, it has promise.
Yeah, there's the neighbor character who seems like she's kind of fun, and she and Kevin are going to have that never feels developed, and then it's suddenly all happening very fast. Like, this is not good. Yeah, she had potential as being like not a manic pixie dream girl. Like, there seems to be more to her than that trope would suggest. And anyway, it all goes to waste. I'm saying 3. 2.5. Yeah, I was just really annoyed by this, all the more so because I think so many of the people involved in this, actors, the writer, director, have done better work in the past and will do better work in the future, and this just doesn't come together.